Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the As Seen on TV podcast for The Originals, Season 3, Episode 11, A Ghost Along the Mississippi. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me is Dom.
Hi.
Hi. Everybody, shifted vertical position here. And also joining us is Nikki.
Hi.
And Kim.
Hi.
Hi. Everybody shifted. I don't know what the hell happened. So, what'd you guys think of this episode? Our first one back from the 2-month break.
I'm going to be honest. This season has been dragging for me. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But I have not enjoyed this show. I really like Season 1. I really like Season 2. Something about Season 3, I can't quite place it, was just dragging. And I was forcing myself through it. And I'm so glad I did, because this episode just fucking paid off for me. And I'm so reinvigorated. I'm ready to go. It's like, give me more. Let's go.
There were 2 or 3 good episodes this season before this that I really enjoyed, but I'm somewhat on board with Dom. I liked it, but there was just something missing or something there that shouldn't have been there. I don't know.
What it is the first season, we got the originals back. We love their antics. We love their bullshit. Season 2, there was actually a conflict that they had to work through. And Season 3, it's, the same old.
I know. It's like... God.
Now there's some different things in the background, but up to this point, it's just kind of like going through the motions.
See, I look at this as like, if you guys have ever seen the Scream trilogy, the original trilogy, and it's like you have the first movie, and then it's like the second one, they're like, oh, and the blood count is bigger, and the body count is higher, and that's kind of what Season 2 was. And then you go into Season 3, and it's still like the same thing. It's like, there's something there that was there from the beginning that is like tied around to bring it back to where it came from. And that's kind of what the whole beginning of the season was. It was tying it all back to like the origins of when they first became vampires. So it's kind of following that old movie format in a way, and I think that is where it lost me a little bit, because it's been so done so many times, and it's been so stale and repetitive and predictable almost. The show hasn't really been predictable, but I'm saying that format has been predictable.
The format's been predictable, and I mean, for me, I almost thought at the beginning of the season, they kind of wrote themselves into a corner with the whole, hey, here are the original vampires. They are seemingly immortal unless you stab them with this one singular specific object that doesn't exist anymore. So how do you bring up a legitimate threat?
You get Kim, who was falling asleep on the episode.
Why? Not this episode. Oh. Not this episode. I meant like the season up to this point.
Okay.
Because this episode was really like, okay, so yeah, I was on the same boat of this whole season was just like, I was forcing myself. Like, I literally was like, oh, I gotta watch originals because I got a podcast. And I mean, I can't lie, there was a couple times that I like skimmed through the episode and then did the podcast. I'm not gonna lie.
Highlights.
It's okay.
She read the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't want to. I felt like I could be doing better shit.
There
are episodes where I haven't even watched yet.
Same. There were a couple of episodes of the Vampire Diaries that I didn't watch.
Oh, Vampire Diaries?
And I bullshitted my way through this. I am sorry to admit that.
That was a lot of the Travelers season.
That was the Travelers season.
Okay,
I mean, anybody who watched that season could probably understand.
And to me, the first half of the originals is very reminiscent to that season of Vampire Diaries.
Well, hopefully we're out of that slump. So
I'm really hoping.
Let's get on to that.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit here. I was playing The Sims. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this, and So sat here and I stopped paying. I literally stopped playing any games. Stopped paying attention to what was going on. I AFK'd from like my voice chat stuff and was just watching because that's how intrigued I was for once. And I was like, "Oh, this is actually really good." And I just stopped like paying attention to everything.
So they dropped a hell of a cliffhanger on us at the end, or I guess you could say a hell of a depressing ending for the midwinter break. That ends.
No. I was so happy.
Well,
You have no understanding of how happy I was. I was
love Klaus.
Yay!
He finally found happiness, and then it was ripped away from him in minutes. I was fucking sad.
He's not interesting when he's happy.
See,
no,
Cammy's always been this show's Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, the token human.
Cammy's had more of a purpose in her short stint in these last 2.5 seasons than Matt ever had on 7 seasons combined. You know?
Matt's a cop now.
Okay, the first 6 seasons at least. How about that?
They're trying to attempt to bring him into something, but it still falls flat. It's like, I love how you're trying. It feels like they're trying to make Matt seem important.
Right. And then
that's why Cammy is so interesting, because she's
interesting
there all the time.
She is. She's there in front. She's the human compass of the show, and she was like Klaus's moral ground for wrong and right, you know, and that's what made her so interesting.
So
she was, Klaus's Jiminy Cricket.
Yes.
There you go. I like it. So as we predicted, or half of us predicted, I forget who exactly predicted what. It's been 2 months. Cammy wakes the hell up.
Yeah, I think we all kind of had an inkling that was going to happen.
Yeah, we didn't think they would kill her off.
Like you said, Klaus was happy, and they can't take that away from him.
I think even one of us called the whole Tristan compelled her when they felt love and all that, and
that was me. I remember that.
Yeah, okay. I knew one of us called it, so.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I think I was on the Aurora compelled her to kill herself if she ever got, freaky with Klaus.
Yeah.
But I think I also called it as she's dead permanently.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. I think you left it as dead.
Yeah, and I was like, there's no way she's dead. I was on board.
Well, we're ready for him to go into, like, psycho mode.
He was in psycho mode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, he was.
The thing is, he was, but Elijah said, no. You need to stay here. You need to take care of Cammy. I will take care of everything else. Don't worry about it. And Klaus actually was like, okay, yes, that makes sense. Staying here.
He did. He's, actually, listened to Elijah.
Yeah.
Well, before that, he was in psycho mode. He was deconstructing his room bit by bit.
Well,
he thought she was dead. And then when she woke up, he was like, whoa, wait a minute.
She woke up, and, Klaus is like, okay, you need to feed, otherwise you're going to die and it's going to be permanent. And she's like, yeah, you just assume I'm going to.
I knew that was going to be something that she would try to do, because that's Cammy. She doesn't want to be in that world. She's kind of forced to be, but she can choose to step away because she's still human. She can still do human things.
Mm-hmm.
She wants the choice to die with dignity. To which she goes, she starts planning, wrapping up her life. She wants a wake that's going to, bring the house down.
Even before that, though, when, we thought she was dead, I love the banter between her and Klaus, in the, the therapy session, cut back and forth, the interchanging cuts. And I was like, this here is exactly why we cannot lose Cammy.
Yeah.
She knows him better than he knows himself.
Yeah.
Very true. So...
Klaus is a pretty upfront guy.
Mm-hmm.
This is true,
he doesn't hide much.
Yeah.
But the thing is that she's pulling out the parts that he isn't.
Exactly.
Forthcoming about.
And that's why they're a pretty decent pairing, character-wise. Whether they're
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
That's going to go out the window.
Definitely going to change.
So she is afraid of turning because she thinks her dark side will take over.
It will.
It's going to.
Yeah, it is.
You see it. She's a completely different person.
I wouldn't say completely.
Oh, if you watch the promo for next week, oh yeah.
Well, no, even just her whole it's like her whole. It's kind of like that all of a sudden just like. It's a full change in her, in the way she walks, in the way she talks. It's just
What?
it's not her.
Wait,
Yes.
when you just what?
changes. It's that concept where you can just you go from
You just-
like laughing to serious.
You just.
Yeah, you go for
It's just change.
Yeah.
This is mine.
Huh.
all right then.
Complete 180.
Oh, really?
Wow. So awesome.
So, I mean, in the middle of this, we're left with Klaus has Freya put a binding spell and keep her in the room, and puts a glass of blood, and basically says, there it is when the pain gets too unbearable. Have a drink. It'll be
I
fine.
really hope that was just wine sitting there,
Yeah,
like on set, and it's just between takes.
of course.
Everyone was drinking out of it.
But as she yelled, "This is the same as forcing me. I'll never forgive you for this." And he's like, "I'll never forgive myself if you die." Point.
Yeah.
It's not the same as like she had the choice. He didn't force the glass of blood down her throat. He
Right.
left there, said if you feel like it's getting to
Well,
be too much,
But it was the
there's a drink.
temptation.
Well, it's the
Yeah.
temptation. It's the fact that she was trapped in the barrier spell, could not get away from
there's
it.
that.
She couldn't throw the glass out of the barrier spell because it's a barrier spell. Nothing can
Could have
enter.
just poured it on the floor or something, though.
Yeah, but it's still in the room with her.
Just leave it
It's
on
the
the
temptation and the thirst and the hunger. Like, you're perpetually hungry.
Yeah.
I know what that feels like.
Of
So
course you do.
anyway, on to Tristan and his his escapade of idiocy. I don't know what to call it, but he forces Vincent to activate the Cerator for him, which I didn't know that the damn thing needed to be activated in the first place. But
Apparently.
there you go. They needed Vincent to channel all of his witchy
It was
mojo.
mentioned a few episodes ago that there was a ritual in order to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
so
It had to be a very powerful.
well, super powerful Vincent did it, and the deal was
I don't think I will ever fuck with Vincent as long as my life
no.
depends on
The
it.
scene
No.
where he just kind of like kills all of them and just goes, and you're like, whoa, okay.
It's like, I'll give you
Correct.
this in exchange for the necklace with Finn's spirit in it. It's like, all right, fine, deal. He does it, and it's like, okay, you know what, you keep this. If he acts up, put Finn back in him.
He's like, you have no idea who
He just distracts her by, saying all these things about how she's a traitor to her ancestors, they're rolling in their grave and all that, and then he just, impales the vampire, breaks the other guy's neck, and makes her start bleeding out of everywhere on her head.
It's just like an iron rod comes flying out from the fence. The gargoyle falls off the head.
That was it. That was the gargoyle falls.
The gargoyle.
And then he, as she's dying, he's like, "This is for your ancestors. May they judge you harshly."
He kills that Templar. The Templar. Whoa, where does that word come from? Anyway, he.
Illuminati.
I don't know. Yeah, he killed the vampire twice because remember he impaled him again. Because the vampire didn't die.
No,
Elijah
that was
came up
Elijah.
behind him.
Oh, you're right, Elijah.
Elijah killed him.
Yeah.
And then Elijah
No,
took the
I
necklace
agree.
like, mine.
Vincent is badass. And this is exactly why he wanted to walk away from Regency, because he knows how powerful he is and he doesn't want that power to overwhelm him. But I think he has his head on his shoulders firmly, and he has connections to the outside world where he can make sure that he's making the right choices.
He doesn't want that power to overwhelm him, and he doesn't want that power to be, he doesn't want to be forced into a situation like he just was, basically.
Yeah.
He doesn't want that shit to happen.
Now, where's Davina been through all this?
She got exiled out of New Orleans, basically.
I think
Okay.
she's still in
She's-
New Orleans, but she's just not in the French Quarter or anywhere near
I
Witch.
feel like
Like,
she's sneaking around somewhere.
outside the city. But
She's
I don't know.
around.
I feel like she's a refugee somewhere. She's like in the Mikealson basement hiding.
Anyway,
I don't know.
we get Haley and Jackson moving out of Jackson's little bayou shack home that he lives in. And then suddenly, darts come flying out of everywhere. The Strix are attacking with wolfsbane darts. Effective, I
also
don't know.
badassery going on right there where he bites like 3 of them. Like, fuck you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. I'm like, wow, Jackson, you got slapped with the badass stick. Way to go this episode. Like, you're kicking more ass than Haley does, and Haley is like 1,000 times more powerful than you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I even said, I was like, damn, he can fight.
She turns around, just like catches the dart out of midair, which was beautiful. Mm-hmm. But they capture them and start torturing, pumping wolfsbane into their through IVs. Wait, incapacitate a werewolf, no problem there.
Haley had enough to put down an entire pack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tristan stated this was revenge for capturing and torturing him the previous week. Hi, Josie. Suddenly cat. And Tristan just feels so smug and empowered in this situation, he's just rips out Jackson's heart.
I was sad.
It was unexpected.
Tail. Kitty butt.
That was very unexpected. I did not see like a major character death coming this episode at all.
Is Jackson a major character?
He's not really a
moderate
major
character.
He's a support.
A major supporting character.
But
okay,
I mean,
give him that much.
See, I'm not a fan of Jackson's character, mainly because I like the Haley Elijah dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. It's because I love Elijah.
And so I was like, okay, torture him, whatever, maybe, make him seem weak and Haley will leave him. But no, they decide to off him. And I was like, okay, I'm not a fan of him, but he didn't need to die. But thinking about it after, watching it for a while, it kind of did have to happen because now Haley's gonna kind of be on a rampage. And I like Haley on a rampage. She's awesome on a rampage.
And that leaves more time for Elijah to make things right between the two of them. So even though Elijah was friends with Jackson, I think, there's a part of him that's just kind of relieved that tension between them is over.
Yeah.
Now is definitely not the time for him to jump in there and like swoop Haley up and just be like, I'm keeping you. But
no, but you can tell that he got protected of her. He got protective. He worried about her. Mm-hmm. You can see that emotion going through his head.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is Haley is next if you don't give us something or other. I don't remember what it was. But Elijah and Klaus wind up capturing Aurora. Or Klaus does. I have no memory of how that happened. All I know is they wind up with Aurora captured and they're going
Vincent was in the street.
Stopped. Yeah.
Right, that was it. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. I am so sorry. Anyway, they're going to trade Haley for Aurora. I'm sorry. Trade Haley and the Saratora for Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
Which Tristan agrees to. And they show up at the warehouse. How many, hundreds of vampires are just like warping in from everywhere.
The Strix,
yeah. Under orders to attack if anything goes funky. Well, now here I was not expecting any of this. Because just previously Freya removed the boundary spell on Cammy and said, before you die, maybe take a minute to help me here.
I thought it was going to be something simple. Like, we weren't even going to see it because it was going to be that simple.
I wasn't expecting what it was.
Yeah,
I'll say that. So
it was clever.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Oh yeah.
Aurora is in a shipping container, and the trade is going to happen. So Tristan goes in to do so. And he takes the hood off, all that stuff. She slips the Saratora out of his pocket and wham! Activates it on the wall. This is where my brain went, what the fuck? Now you're both Aurora, you're a few fries short of a Happy Meal here, but what the fuck are you doing here?
I was convinced that was actually Aurora and that the originals compelled her.
That's what I was thinking too. Like they found a way to compel them.
It's not that they found a way. They've always been able to compel other vampires.
Well, no, but I thought that they were immune because they figured out how to be immune to it.
Maybe I don't remember the exact logic on that. They were originally compelled to believe they were the Mikealsons for
a century.
And so.
So, and then all of a sudden she just the barrier's there. Tristan is trapped, and she just walks on through it. And I'm like, what? Huh? And then the illusion goes away. I'm like, oh, you clever bastard. Well done.
I still didn't realize. I was like, okay, that's Cammy. How the fuck did she do it? Like, I still didn't know. Like, how the hell did she walk through it?
And
And then they were like, nothing living or dead that can go through, and
she's in
she's
between.
neither. And I was
she's
just
in
like, that's just enough of a stretch that I'll accept it.
And you know what, Tristan? You gotta say, Tristan was probably in there going, "Fuck, that's clever." Like, this sucks, but shit, that was clever.
But the thing I want to know, so they put Tristan at the bottom of the ocean, right?
Yeah.
They dropped the shipping container off with fishermen. They dumped it to who knows where. Who cares? Whatever. Now, that is steel
Yeah.
sitting at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Say 10,000 years goes by.
Okay.
The thing's not going to rust apart.
Oh, definitely. It's not.
Eventually.
10,000 years is too long even for that. It won't be that long.
I'm just
even.
saying.
No, I mean
To the
look
point
at,
where the Saratoga thing is it's not. It's
I thought you were gonna say serotonin or something. I was like, no, that's not
One
it.
could argue that due to the magic of the Ceratora, it will protect whatever vessel is now the barrier.
Possibly.
so.
that was what
But,
I
I mean-
That was my question. That's where I was going with this.
Yeah.
Was
It's been
after this thing dissipates, is that going to turn the ocean into his prison so he can never surface?
I have no idea. But I mean, look at
Weird.
the. But you're right, though. It'll run. Look at the Titanic. That was 100 years ago. Look at any recent pictures of the wreck of that thing. The damn thing's falling apart already.
Yeah.
And that was
Well, yeah.
mostly steel.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and even if someone does fish him up, he's stuck in there. Nobody can get in there to, rescue him,
Unless they destroy it.
if that's even possible.
Right.
So Tristan and Haley gets her last words, basically. This is the last face you're ever going to see. Remember it. Bye!
I can't help but think he's not gone.
Yeah, I have that
It's
moment.
easy.
And while all of this was happening, and Vincent and Freya were channeling, she was channeling his power to make the spell go down, Aurora vanished. And it is assumed that Lucian freed her. And I'm going to admit at this point, all right, Lucian's still alive. Shit, 40 minutes go by and I
Right.
forgot he was a character.
Well, I think that's what's going to happen. Is that's the continuous story that I don't think we're going to see. Wow, brain fart. I can't think of names now.
Tristan?
Tristan, yeah, we're not gonna see Tristan anymore. Tristan's gone, but we still have the the other half of the duo.
Lucian.
Lucian.
Oh, I know. That was the
The
word.
trio.
You're right, trio, because of Honora.
But
So.
Go on.
Oh, but yeah, that's gonna be what's gonna be the rest of the season. Is now they have to deal with that.
Right, and they have to deal with that. The Strix flat out, they just were like, sorry, Tristan, fuck you. At the end of that.
They chose to live.
Elijah made a great point.
He did.
Like, you could take us out. You might even subdue us. But most of you will die in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no two ways about that. And it's like, he doesn't give a shit about you. He's been hell-bent on petty revenge for 900 years.
Yeah.
So, and Aya was like, just stand down. Like, sorry, you're fucked. Strix,
I mean,
roll out.
It didn't look like she was going to until Marcel said something.
Yeah.
I think those two have gotten pretty close.
And then Marcel covers his ass at the end, talking to Elijah, I always had your back. If I knew anything was gonna go on with Haley, I would have told you. But we don't
Elijah
really know where Marcel's allegiances were. He was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
Yeah, I feel like he infiltrated them for the Mikealsons, but at the same time, I feel like he did that in his own benefit too, where if things went down and the Mikealsons lost, Marcel was in a good place.
I think the only side that Marcel is on his own.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, self-preservation. It's always been like that for Marcel.
And
Yeah.
the Ceratora was the perfect thing. Klaus is trapped in that barrier. Nobody can get to him. He can never die.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, to openly try to kill Klaus would be suicide for him, so there you go.
Yep.
Anyway, the last bit is Cammy goes to visit her brother's grave and asked Vincent to join her. They have a little talk, and she decides that, she's going to turn.
That she can do good.
She can do good. She can do more good for the city. So,
She won't.
No, I doubt she will. So she drinks some of Vincent's blood and completes the transition.
I mean, there's a possibility she could do good, but right now she's reeling from, being a fresh vampire. All her inhibitions, all her quirks, her bad traits, everything are heightened like 100% times 200%. She is just, I mean, there's no way we're gonna see even a bit of the old Cammy for quite a while.
No, and when you saw her walking, it's just the look on her face, as you said, her mannerisms, just the way she walked.
She went to the dark side.
Oh, big time.
Like, I mean, Klaus did say, the all your senses are heightened, but once you make that transition, they're euphoric. They're not painful anymore. And she's definitely feeling that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they totally got it on again.
Of course.
Of course.
Oh.
Because now, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that for this episode. That's really everything. That cat really wants attention. Josie, you can come over here.
That cat's gotten attention this whole podcast. See, watch. She's going to hold the cat now, and the cat no longer wants attention.
No, that's Josie's personality. As soon as you pick her up and hold her, she's done.
Mm-hmm.
Although she is not struggling for a very long time.
Yeah. Let's see if you can keep her there until the end of the podcast.
Okay.
Anyway, next episode is called Wild at Heart. While Klaus finds himself dealing with pressing matters at home, Elijah reluctantly aligns with Aya after learning that she may have knowledge of an elusive weapon that can kill an original vampire for good. Alright. Meanwhile, alone and shunned by her coven of witches, a desperate Davina, hey, there she is left conflicted after she is approached with an enticing offer that could bring her one step closer to reuniting with Cole.
I really need Cole back. I need Cole back on this show. Care less about Finn. He's in the amulet, and I don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah, fuck Finn.
It's Cole. Cole that I want.
So, if you watch the promo, Cammy, she doesn't go full on Ripper, but she does not have a handle on her bloodlust.
Couldn't do it?
She couldn't do it. To the point where...
You couldn't keep her?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, her. Klaus has to stop her from drinking, and she says, I used to think... I forgot how she put it, something about you being human still, and, you're better than you were. And then she says, you're exactly the way you are for a reason, and I love it. I forget how she puts it exactly. Yeah. So she does not have a good handle on things.
No, I think she's always had that addictive personality, like where she's just she overdoes things because she's looking to impress herself and others. She just feels like she's always not been at the top of her game, and vampirism kind of gives you that,
everything is out of whack. All right then. So if that's that, I believe that is our show.
Sure.
Sure. Dom, where can they find you?
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Nikki, how about you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Kim, how about you?
At HUFFITY, PUFFITY.
We always got to dance. You can find me down below on Twitter at Thilladrin. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us there for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and now games. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a lovely night. And,
or day, or afternoon, or morning,
or dusk.
And steer clear of blonde women in New Orleans for the time being.
All of them. Every last one of them.
I can't do that.